Oh, you know what you got to do is you got to shake it up. There you go. And then... Oh, fuck. I don't want to talk about how much whiskey I just got on my blazer. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. After Hours edition here. Got my buddy Jay, got my turkey ready to rip. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing well. You have turkey, you said, huh?
Yeah, a pair of turkeys. A holiday mix pack of turkeys, if you will.
A turkey duo, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love to do product comparisons, try one whiskey against another, whether they're either extremely similar or dissimilar. I like to see what's going on. And I figured maybe tonight we'll do a little a different style tasting and review, and we'll compare the Russell's Reserve 13 with the Master's Keep Decades.
Wow. I mean, that's extremely convenient. Seeing as I currently have Master's Keep Decades right here.
Oh,
so
weird.
Good golly. It's like your people called my people and they didn't screw it up. So I totally agree. I think that is an excellent segment for tonight. And would you look at that? I have them both poured.
Look at you go. You're an absolute beauty. I think I might go ahead and tackle a little bit of the Russell's Reserve 13. Let's see.
13?
I'm going straight in, man. I'm not messing around.
I love this. We skipped all of the small talk. I'm into it. Woo!
Oh, yeah. There's that big spicy sweetness in there, too. Wow. Brown sugar caramel cone type of thing going on. Ooh, double-barreled turkeys? I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
I think the nostrils are nuts, but these are, so Wild Turkey Decades, a blend of 10 to 20 year whiskey, the world's most flagrant TTB violations. So we have 10 to 20 years and we have 13 years. So unsurprisingly, they taste pretty, they smell pretty different. You're on the 13, you said, right?
I'm on both, man. I'm in straight up attack mode over here.
All right, I'll catch up.
Okay.
Having a sip of that 13. Excellent. Wow. Those are really different first impressions to me. The 13 has a lot more going on. The Decades is like extremely nuanced. It's really complex, really nuanced, but the 13 just kind of is just like, yeah.
Yeah, 13 punches a lot harder. There's a heavier caramel and sweetness, and a different brightness in the Decades that I think the Russell's 13 does not carry, or if it does, it is dominated by the darker, richer oak structure there. There's a lot going on. I mean, they're both actually really nice, but there's definitely more on the nose to the Russell's 13 for me.
The 13 is really powerful. The Decades seems more nuanced, has a lot more of that caramel toffee, like creme brulee notes. The 13 is all barrel char and cherry to me. Yeah, barrel char and cherry. Which sounds like my new favorite band, but
or we could go as Halloween as barrel char and cherry.
I wish that we lived closer together because that'd be pretty fun. I would 100% be the cherry.
Yeah, you would.
For better.
That's the way I were also visioning
for both.
Our theoretical Halloween date.
For better and for worse. People would try and pop me all night long.
Yikes. That's a scenario if I've ever seen one.
On the palate, these could not be more different either. This is crazy.
These are salt and pepper shakers though, man. Like these things sitting next to each other on the table actually clicks really nicely, and where they are different, the disparity actually really kind of plays well. These things work in tandem almost, where you get the like the sweet toffee, or what reminds you of like what would be on like a caramel apple.
Yeah.
Or you get that on the Decades, and then you switch over to the Russell's 13, and you get like this, real dark dusted, like cocoa powder, Dutch processed cocoa powder, dusted cherries. It's like a much heavier, much darker profile, not quite as sticky sweet. And man, it's got this nice spice to the finish too that really rounds it out.
Man, that was oddly specific, but I'm into it. I
Yeah,
agree.
Well, I get weird.
This is the salt and pepper shaker of whiskey. This has something that you could use a little of both or all of one, all of the other. Really agree.
Totally.
That's a great way to put it. Comparing, I really like the complexity of the Decades. I can admire just like how powerful 13 is. But you better love cocoa. Better love cocoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Geez, in this lineup right now, I'm not actually sure if I have a favorite.
I was about to say, I don't know if it's wishy-washy, but I'm having a hard time on this one. There's things I love so much about Decades, and there's a reason that Decades has quickly won a place to my heart. And I don't know that the 13 can top that. Sure, it's more powerful, but like, there's a reason I come back to Decades and I show everyone that comes to visit Decades. Like, Decades has it going on.
Well, I mean, like we spoke about on the Tuesday night stream where we tasted the Russell's Reserve 13, it's really just not your cup of tea. I mean, it is a big, punchy, bold, and somewhat brash oak profile. And anybody who's tuned into the show or seen any of our other videos knows that the biggest line of demarcation is from your plantation over to mine is that oak. There's a fine line of oak trees separating out two properties. And I happen to love them. And you hate how the leaves fall down and the acorns are all over the place. But anyway, oak is sort of the dividing rod here. I mean, if you lean more toward an oak profile, that Russell's might just be the box that you tick. And if you like that sweeter, stickier dessert profile, it may be Decades.
Absolutely. For me, it is Decades all night long. I love the 13. It is certainly not bad whiskey. It is a fantastic bottling. But Decades is my home. Decades is what is comfortable and happy and delicious. And I feel like I could drink Decades any day of the week. In Russell's, I'd have to find a day where I was in that specific mood. But
that's fair. Yep.
I think that's gonna be my wrap up. I think Decades all day. Russell's for that one timely mood. What are you thinking?
I think for me, it's going to be a matter of two things. These are both LEs, one of which is no longer in production at all. So Master's Keep is usually right around $1.50, whereas the Russell's Reserve 13 is $70. I think 2 bottles of Russell's 13 to 1 Master's Keep is a pretty impressive ratio of great whiskey.
True.
I think I would probably look at Russell's 13 as a better overall value, and it's still a profile that I really enjoy. So I think I'll probably scoop that up. Not that I have a chance to buy 2 bottles of either, but in a theoretical scenario, perhaps I would, I don't know, somebody right in the skull and take a bottle or 2 from them.
Oh, I mean, acts of violence are always a great way to wrap up a show. I think that's a perspective that I would not have considered yet. This is Decades. My chosen bottle is twice the price. So if you could find 2 of these for some act of God, act of luck, I don't know what you'd call it. It'd be a hard sell to take 1 Decades over 2 Russell's 13s. But that's the beauty of having friends and discussing these things. Is we're in very different places as far as our palates are concerned on that oak. So I think it's a great perspective.
Yeah, I'm good with all of it, man. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed this would go any other way for you. Now, I will say that there was some deliberation about it, but I think I'm in the Russell's 13 camp.
Okay, I love it. Well, more Decades for me, more Russell's 13 for you, which is a perfect way to sign on off. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for another episode of Weekly Whiskey After Hours on Thursday. If you don't have it bookmarked, go ahead and check us out next Tuesday for another awesome live stream. But in the meantime, go ahead and check out more from John. He's at the Bourbon Finder on Instagram and thebourbonfinder.com. You can check his links out here as we go on. Doing great heads to heads. I look forward to what you're going to compare this to in your King of the Hill and other sort of articles that are going to be awesome, and your reviews are great as well. If you're looking for more from me, go ahead and check me out at whiskeyraiders.com. We're your Rotten Tomatoes of whiskey. We have reviews, articles, news. We're covering all sorts of stuff, but most importantly, we are capturing what the voices of bourbon are saying about bottles like these. So check us out. But in the meantime, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you again on Tuesday night. So thanks everyone, and cheers. This is awesome whiskey. This is a great comparison to have.
Oh, yeah. This is good. Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.